Okay, so we have the Dill Pickle here with Brown Sugar Bakery and its owner, Stephanie Hart. And we're here to learn a little bit more about who this superstar is. So I'm going to jump
Wow.
off. Yes. So we carry Brown Sugar Bakery at the Dill Pickle. We just recently brought in some of your candy delights last week, and they're on the shelves. So we just want to learn a little bit more about who Stephanie is.
I am I'm a serial entrepreneur and happy to like really be at a point where I can kind of expose my product to different markets. And so my partnership with Dill Pickle is real exciting because it puts me in a neighborhood that I don't typically have access to. So this is exciting. Also, I'm looking to see how people receive the product, and I'm just real excited about being there. So.
Same, same. Well, my actual first question is, what is a day in the life of Stephanie Hart, the entrepreneur?
Hmm. Okay, so you want to start with me at 5 a.m.? Um, Typically I get started thinking sometime between 3:30 and 5. And I take like about an hour and a half or so just to kind of like focus myself, meditate, study. I listen to a lot of podcasts at that time, just to try to get my head around today. I definitely try to take some time to see things my way, if you will. So people say that meditation and visualization isn't cool. So I just made it cool. I take time to see things my way. How about that? And then after that, I typically walk in place for 30 minutes. I don't go outside because, if I don't do it before I leave the house, I'm probably not going to do it. Then I grab up my little things and I either head to the Cupid Factory or to the Brown Sugar Bakery, whichever one has pressing needs at that time. And I get with my people. I like to start today motivating staff, right? And I start doing that in the car on the phone, just checking out team, what do they need, what do they have planned for the day, making sure that how I saw it and how they see it matches. We course correct early in the day, and then I get into trying to have fun. I'm in a creative mode right now, so I spend a lot of my time right now thinking about products, product placement, product improvement, and round about 3 or 4 o'clock, I switch into I call it empire thinking. Right, these are projects that other people are bringing to me that I may want to look at, new opportunities, and I start integrating that into my day. So it's a busy day, and then I typically end the day sometime between 5:15 and 6:15. I'll start a Zoom call with my virtual assistant to catch up on all of the emails and what people are requesting, forms and all that kind of stuff. And by 7:30ish, I try to turn off. Doesn't always happen, but somewhere between 7:30 and 8, I'm typically calling it a day now. And I don't do much after that. Like I veg, like literally it sounds boring kind of, but that's pretty much it. I'm on the grind right now. I'm in create mode, so my days are like that, and they're sort of repetitive. But I'm
Mm.
enjoying. I think that in order to be an entrepreneur, you've got to kind of enjoy the journey and not the outcome. And I'm in a space right
Mm-hmm.
now where I enjoy that. I'm gathering my little things, and I walk my little 30 minutes, and I'm following up and I'm following through. So I'm taking pleasure in that right now.
Mm. It's not
I'll
about
tell
it's
you.
not about the destination. It's about the journey,
It
right?
is, and I've been thinking about grounding. So Saturday, Sunday this week, I had some me time, and I was thinking about grounded. And I will tell you this vision I had. So I think that all entrepreneurs are afraid to fly at some point, and I definitely experienced that, right? And so what I got this weekend is that when you move, you got to fly to grow, right? And so when you take a step, you typically looking back to see if the ground is there. And when you look up again and really take off, and you what you were starts getting far away from where you are right now, I saw that new ground comes in the form of a cliff.
Mhm.
And that's what I got. So this cliff came underneath me, and now I'm at a whole new level. So I don't know. That's that grounding talk.
Mhm. I hear that. I feel that. Well, how did the journey of Brown Sugar Bakeries begin?
Brown Sugar Bakery, my previous, I said I'm a serial entrepreneur. So in 1984, I started a technology company. Um,
That's the year I was
that's
born.
early. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yay. Yay. That was a good year. I did a lot. I was 22 when you were born.
Wow.
And so I started a technology company, and I did that for 20 years. And I had a lot of joy. It was a different kind of company, and it was a different kind of me. I think that I really got fed up with trying to fit in a particular mode in order for people to accept me. And so, literally, when at the same time as I was going through those frustrations in the technology company, I literally did want a cake that comforted me that I couldn't get
Mm.
anymore because my grandma had left the planet. So in recreating that cake, I realized that that product, after I mastered it, which wasn't quick, um, I realized that if I did this business, it would do two things for me. I would not have to convince anyone of something, that I could give them something that was tangible and they could convince themselves if they wanted it or not. I liked that aspect. And then the other thing was, this was something that people could see me doing. When I would come into a room and present myself in the technology industry, people would be surprised. And I was just really tired of that and the fight of it. And so now when I say I bake a cake, girl, who bakes a cake better than me? Like if you stood me in a room with four other people and you picked who you wanted to bake your cake, you nine
It's
times out
gonna
of
be
10, you're
you.
gonna pick me out the crowd. I'm just saying, right? So it seemed to fit me. And shortly after starting my business in 2004, that first capturing of me, people just accepted it. They liked it. It fit and it took off. And I like producing something. I'll tell you another thing this business gave me over the technology business is instant gratification. I like being
Mm.
happy, right? And in technology, oftentimes I was the deliverer of bad news, and we've got to change and it's going to cost more money. And with this business, I make something, I present it in love, people receive it in love. And even if they don't like me, when it gets in their mouth, it is love. And so they don't really have too much of a choice on how they react. And that felt great. It really did.
Mm. Yes, I like to think when you make food or you create something, you're putting your energy into that product, right? And so
And it's
when people
easily
consume it, they're
received.
consuming you and your energy. So
Yeah,
when it,
absolutely. And it's easily received when the person, there's a profile that the product has. I'm sure not everybody likes my cake. I'm sure not everybody likes my cake. But the profile that I created and the market that I go after, it's a really good match. And so I don't have to tell you it's good. You get to tell yourself it's good. And that's really half the battle. I just was tired of the intangible, describing things that did not exist, and selling people on that. That takes a lot of work.
it does take a lot of work, and it's not worth it. No.
No, I didn't even have a business card when I started. I was like, girl, here's a cookie. Take that. You're going to remember my name. You're going to put it in your cell phone. So that's how you find me. So, I mean, I like the ease of that. And it just fit me. And I'm having a ball. Another thing that I got to do in this industry was reach people that I couldn't reach when my office was at 20 East Jackson, right? And
Mm.
so I got to employ and influence people that I felt ultimately would make a bigger difference. And I'm starting to see that happen. So I'm happy about
Mm.
that too.
I see you. Well, as a follow up, as a Black woman, what advice would you give to other women, especially women of color, about starting a business, like the challenges of a business and never giving up?
I would say feed your head. I would say that the most important part of my day is the part that I give to myself. And I promise you, like, put your mask on first. That is
Mm.
hard for, I think, women of color, because we've been, this whole society has helped us prepare to be of service, if you will. And
Yeah.
being of service is a good thing, but you've got to serve yourself first so that you have something to serve. And I would say that I think the biggest thing that I've learned late, I'll be 59 this year, is take care of me first. So I really say, whatever you're going to do,
Mm-hmm.
business or whatever, be prepared. And to be prepared, you have to prepare yourself, right? So whoever you talk to, God, whoever, talk to them, talk to yourself, feed yourself, take care of yourself, and then present yourself to the world to do whatever
Exactly.
business. And trust me, you're going to conduct business more effectively after you've taken those steps. When you show up depleted, you're not effective. You can't
Mm.
solve the problems that are going to ultimately come.
You can't help others if you can't help yourself.
That's for sure. That's said. Well
Mm-hmm.
said. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And one of my last questions, as a Chicago native, what are your fondest memories of growing up in the city? And and how would you assess the business community?
So, interestingly enough, I am not a Chicago native.
uh,
That's okay. I'm from Detroit, and it's another urban center. And in those days, I left Detroit when I was 12 years old. But as a child, my mom worked at Motown. My dad was studying to be an engineer. Girl, I thought I had the best life, backstage with Michael Jackson at 10. You couldn't tell me nothing.
what?
I loved my community. I loved that when I looked around, I saw the tailor, the restaurants, the shoe shop, everything looked like me. So I was very, very much incubated and felt powerful as a little creature. I was very powerful as a little girl.
Mm.
And then my dad finished college and got a job with General Electric and moved us to Fort Wayne, Indiana,
Okay.
where I wasn't incubated and I was thrust into a world where not many people looked like me. And learned a lot. And then moved to the Chicago area. I went to high school in Downers Grove. There were 4,000 students and 10 minorities. So it's funny because people see me and they go, "Girl, I think I went to high school with you." I'm like, "No, you wouldn't have to think about if you went to high school with me. You would know, right?
Mhm.
And you would know no matter who you are, because if you were one of the 4,000 and I was one of the 10, you would still know if you went to high school with me. And if you were one
Mhm.
of the 10, we knew each other. So I think that moving into Chicago as a young adult was a choice, and I decided to raise my child in urban Chicago. And I would say probably one of my fondest thing about Chicago is the entrepreneurial environment. I
Mhm.
started coming to Chicago for it was called Black Expo. And now you're going back in the day. Black Expo. This is like right, like pre you being born. So like in 1980s, and they had all these businesses that were minority owned. And I was like, wow, I've always had entrepreneurial aspirations. And so I think Chicago incubated and helped help me develop my entrepreneurial aspirations as a woman and as a Black woman. That would
Mm.
be what I think about Chicago, because we're doing it. I mean, in Chicago, we talk about Atlanta, we talk about other cities, but when you think about publishing, hair care, um, restaurants, all of the majors, where are you going to say these people came from? Chicago. Even when you think of my idol, who is Reginald F. Lewis, Beatrice Foods that he bought, and that legendary thing he did in the book, Why Do All the White Guys Have Fun, happened right
Mm.
here in Chicago. So I love this city.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not from Chicago either. I'm from Milwaukee, which is a suburb of
Oh,
Chicago.
Okay, 90 minutes.
No, but I moved here in 2007, and it's changed my life. But
I opened my location that I'm in now in 2007. Yeah, I could see how Chicago could change your life.
working at the Dill Pickle has changed my life too. So
Well,
I'm
so
very,
can
I'm
I
very
just say
grateful.
that I can imagine because the whole co-op mentality is something that
Mm-hmm.
I think is going to do nothing but expand because if you think about the word cooperative, right, or cooperate, right. I often tell people that I don't have competition; I compete with people, right. And so I just love the fact that you're in an environment that supports inclusiveness and expansion. So that's just so cool. I'm so proud to be part of that. I really am. Being
Uh,
part of Dill Pickle for me is really exciting because it's just great to be a part of a group that supports inclusiveness and expansion at the same time. That's super cool.
yes, and we love to support local vendors and entrepreneurs, and serve the community.
Yay.
So that was my last question, but it looks like we have somebody who's trying to enter the chat. I think David Noble wants to enter.
Hey, David.
Stephanie, how
Hey
are
there.
you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing just
We're
great.
dressed alike again, David.
I know. I know. I had to
I,
represent. I got to represent the Zodiac.
I,
Great minds think alike.
And just for those who don't know, David Noble is the marketing manager of the Dill Pickle.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Stephanie, for being part of our official first StreamYard. Welcome to the Dill Pickle Food Co-op community. We are honored and privileged to have you and your wonderful confections at our disposal. Um,
yay.
so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a rapid deal DIL, five
Okay.
fire questions. And some of these I may know. And one thing I will say, I did not know that you weren't originally from Chicago. So that was a great little nugget that I found out. So as long as I've known you, which has been over 15 years, I did not know that. But now I know. But in this rapid deal five, my first question is, what is your zodiac sign? And are you a true?
Representative of my zodiac sign?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I am, I think, definitely true to my zodiac sign. I think I manage the downsides of my zodiac sign, and I'm proud to say I am a July Leo, July 26th.
Fire.
The best month to be born in, July. So who is your biggest influence that shaped you over the course of your career, your illustrious long career?
I have been blessed to be influenced by so many people, but I think I'm going to tell you things. I'm a studier and a reader, and I think that what influenced me most was early on at 16, I read the book Think and Grow Rich. And many people, especially people of color, find that that book diminishes Black people. There's a chapter that's actually my favorite chapter where basically a child, an African American female child, asking an overseer for money. And I find that so inspiring and powerful that her mind was made up before she got into the room to ask him for 50 cents for her mother. And because her mind was made up, although he intended not to give it to her, he did. And that taught me a lot, especially being a teenager that was in an area that didn't necessarily embrace me. I decided that I could make up my mind and have what I wanted. And so I think
Oh,
that
wow.
influenced me a lot.
Okay. Now, this one is a little unique. Um, what planet in the solar constellation would you be and why? And there's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
Definitely Jupiter.
Okay. And
And
why
it's so
Jupiter?
funny that you say that. Okay, because Jupiter is so colorful. It has lots of moons. I think that, although I'm a fire sign, I'm definitely affected by moon energy. So I've always wondered what would happen if we had another moon floating around here by Earth. How would
Right.
I be fueled by that? But it's interesting that you say that. So I like the solar system, but some of the planets that I have actually really considered living on are a little bit further. So
Mm.
I think about how quantum theory is going to open up that wormhole, and I'm going to be able to get over there in time, right?
Oh, wow.
Let's
Interesting.
go.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. What city, domestic or international, would best describe you?
Paris,
Okay.
Paris. And I'll tell you why. It's international. When I say it's international, I don't mean international from it's over there. I mean, it's a world-class city. Everybody lives there. It's urban. You know how I feel about fashion. I
Mm-hmm.
love fashion. It's
Mm-hmm.
fashion oriented. I think that everyone should smell good. I love scents, and the best perfumes. Guerlain is there. I mean, I love Guerlain, right? Um, and I love art, and I love history, and I like simple things. I think that Paris for me, a cup of coffee is exalted, right? Now we finally
Mhm.
caught up to that, right? But little things people enjoy. So yeah, Paris. I could definitely live in Paris, no problem.
And my last of the rep deal 5 is, how will the brown sugar bakery chocolate confection stand out from everyone else?
So I'm excited about answering that question, and I'm working on that now. I think that the first thing that I've done here with the team is to develop a chocolate product that is in line with fairness and equity in how it's actually gotten to me to work with. So that's really important to me. And I think secondly, just that I'm creative and I'm taking a chance. Chocolatiers are typically tied to a great deal of history. And because I'm not, I'm having fun, which is why you all got that ruby turtle over there and that German
Mm-hmm.
chocolate turtle and the white one as well, or tortue. I'm not allowed to say turtle, but the tortues, which is turtle in French, no less, right?
Okay.
So I'm ready when I get to pair with the tortues.
Right, right.
I think that us just being original and breaking up what has been the status quo is what's going to make brown sugar life is sweet fun for people to experience.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see the new things that you have coming in the future.
Mhm.
We are doing pretty well at the Dill Pickle with your product.
I want to get you guys some samples there so that we can sample. You can sample. I'm going to get some little individually wrapped candies up there next week so that people can try stuff. Get them. I'll make sure you get them on Wednesday. How about that?
Sounds great. Sounds great. So that's a perfect tie-in, to conclude a great interview and the beginning of a wonderful partnership. I
Yes.
so appreciate you, my friend, my former client, now a vendor within the co-op.
It's a small world, and I'm just so thankful that, I said out of my mouth, I want to be in a co-op grocery store while you were actually taking my friend class. So
Yes,
I
Mm.
really,
LaDonna.
really,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I called her up. Yeah, I called her up while you were
shout out
in
to
that
LaDonna.
cohort. Yeah, and she didn't
Mhm.
have that answer for me. You know what she told me first? And we did it. We reached around and we did it. She said, "Girl, you got to get your chocolate together. You got to make sure that as a Black woman, that you're acquiring chocolate in a humane way." And I'm like, "Ooh, girl, I never thought about that." So You know, but you guys know Lana, so she got me straight.
I love LaDonna. I'm
Absolutely.
learning so much from, we're just excited. Just a few months I've been there. You, Stephanie, and the guys with the Black Bread Company and future, Black owned, Latinx and women owned businesses coming to the co-op.
Yeah, we have a lot more to
think that-
offer, a lot more
Yes,
exciting ventures on the horizon.
yes,
I
absolutely.
love the-
Well, I believe this concludes our interview with Stephanie from Brown Sugar Bakery. I
Thank
want to
you
thank
so
you for
much.
being here. Thank you.
Oh, it was fun. Yay.
Yes, thank you so much. And we have a
Thanks for
great
surprising.
rollout.
Thank you for surprising
Oh,
me.
oh yeah, I said let me do the element of surprise, and I'm glad that we were able to do, and we're so excited to have you part of our co-op community.
Yes. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.